Hello, hello, my friends. It is Hondo, and welcome back to the Knights of the Nerd Republic. You know what to do, and stay profitable.
The Nerd Academy podcast is released weekly at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, available on our website at www.thenerdacademypodcast.com and wherever you listen to podcasts. You can find the Nerd Academy podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. You can also help support the show by going to patreon.com/The Nerd Academy podcast, where every donation allows us to bring you more exciting content every week.
Hello there, and welcome back to Knights of the Nerd Republic, the show where your favorite nerds talk all things about the galaxy far, far away, coming to you live. This is your host, Jarod, the Dark Jedi, Bachman Stubbs, and joining me tonight is the one and only Mr. Kason.
Are you muted, Jarod?
Am I muted? That's a good question.
I cannot hear you at all.
Check, check.
Nothing.
Great.
You can hear me, though?
Yep. Okay, so live chat is saying they can hear both of us, but you cannot hear me. So I'm going to remove Cray.
I still got nothing.
That is so
I don't know what the
weird.
problem is.
We have a little live technical difficulties, folks. It rarely hits us during a live stream. So I'm going to say, Cray, leave and come back. And I will vamp in the meantime. But as we get a little bit of technical difficulty sorted out here, we do have Eli saying, "What's up, Bombad Fett?" Oh, wait, wrong show. You're right. Little peek behind the curtain. I wanted to do a KNR about the Mando Grogu teaser, and then I wanted to do a. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I figured it out.
Okay, cool. Love that. We wanted to do a. Also, thank you, honey. We wanted to do a little Mando Grogu teaser, and I wanted to try to record Tuesday night, and we weren't able to. So I was like, fuck it, we'll do a live stream tonight because on Friday, we're going to have an episode of the Nerd Academy podcast coming out. Little news roundup. It's going to be myself, Taylor, and friend of the show, Brooke, a.k.a. B. Dazzler. We're going to be talking about the Baldur's Gate TV show that got announced recently that is for sure in production now. We're going to be talking about Spider-Man Noir, which we're getting a trailer for, and some of the press that's been coming out for that. We're also going to maybe talk about the PlayStation State of Play, if there's any Wolverine stuff or anything that's kind of in our purview. So just kind of giving that a wide berth so it's not double podcast upload days. We're doing this one as a stream tonight, and hopefully in the next couple days, this will be also in the podcast feed, if that is your preference. But like I said, we're going to be talking about the Mando Grogu trailer or teaser for the big game, the Super Bowl. And there's not a lot to talk about, but I do kind of want to talk about the discourse because I find myself deeply frustrated by it. We will be joined soon by Bill Sheehy. He is currently on the phone with his boss, one Amy McGrath, running for Senate in the state of Kentucky for his show Truth in the Barrel that he is one of the EPs on. So if you're not listening to The Truth in the Barrel yet, go check that out. I'm doing Bill's plugs up top. But all of that said, before we jump into the space meat and potatoes here and start drinking some space Budweiser, a brief word from our sponsors over at Sunday's Bloody Mary, my drink of choice. You guys know the drill by now. Sunday's Bloody Mary has the most badass Bloody Mary accoutrement in the galaxy with their 3-time award-winning spicy mix as well as their mild and traditional mixes if the spice isn't for you. This former bartender trusts only one Bloody Mary mix, and that is Sundays. The only Bloody Mary mix better than a from scratch Bloody. Taylor said, have a bud on me. Indeed. I almost wore Taylor's Budweiser Roosevelt for this episode to be funny, but The 4X's swallowed my little arms. Uh, and yeah, no, and Eli has it right. We really do need some more advice on marketing from all of these experts in the fandom.
100%.
So it's the Star Wars equivalent of a Clydesdale. Apparently, Tauntauns. Even though I would have gone Fathiers personally, or Eli, you'll know the answer to this because you're worse than me about shit. Whatever Yoda's riding in the Tartakovsky Clone Wars, whatever that creature is,
Whatever that thing is.
whatever that thing is, Eli will have the answer in the chat here soon. But I mean, the teaser says it's a tauntaun. Kaibuck, thank you. So the teaser would say that the comparison is a tauntaun. I would go Fathiers from the Last Jedi, like from there because it's a racing horse.
Right.
The dork in me says Kaibuck. But yeah, Cray, let me ask you first. Kind of jumping in here. First of all, how was your Super Bowl experience? How'd you enjoy the big game? Oh no, I've lost him. We're running into more technical difficulties on this live stream tonight than we typically face. As I wait for Kason to make his triumphant return, Taylor and I attended a work Super Bowl party for me. I had a good time. I got a little lit. Tried Cutwater for the first time, which was a fun experience. I felt that shit the next day. That's for damn sure. And I went in to the Super Bowl, not really caring about the event itself too much because, I'm a Pittsburgh guy, so is Kason. So we kind of made peace with hopefully the Patriots don't win, so that way they don't take the lead in Super Bowl wins. But I was going in really excited and hopeful for a full Mandalorian and Grogu teaser. I know that the amount of money it takes to have a Super Bowl ad is growing and growing exponentially. So I, like most of the time, wasn't anticipating a full teaser in the game. Normally, like a trailer for the trailer, something like what they did for Deadpool and Wolverine, which I remember very vividly. But I was hoping for something, and I will not lie. I will not be. I will not be dishonest. I was a little disappointed when what was this? Booed the Pats and wasn't impressed with anyone's performance. Yes, indeed. Obviously, halftime was incredible. Bad Bunny put on a hell of a show. It was, and apparently the Clydesdales ad we got was 58 or 8.10 million. So yeah, 8 to 10. But all of that to say, I did want a full trailer. I was hoping for a full trailer. I was hoping for this stage of the game for there to be a full trailer, and we didn't get one. And I will not lie, I was a little let down at first, and felt some kind of way for most of the night. And eventually it warmed up on me. And I kind of started to appreciate it a little bit more as something that kind of felt like a return to form. One moment. Oh, I was just getting ready to text Kason. He should be good to come back. Mic check 1 2 1 2.
Wow, you sound normal.
I am glad I sound normal again.
You cut out for me, and then it went full fast forward chipmunk mode, and then you stayed a chipmunk, and then you just cut out completely. I don't know what happened.
Normally
Anyway.
not a problem on live streams. You normally this problem.
Yeah,
with
normally
doing live
flawless.
Normally the live streams are pretty easy. But no, Casey, to get you up to speed what I was saying while you were gone. No, just basically like I went in, I was expecting a full teaser. We got a report from
Same.
Deadline that said to expect something from Mando and Grogu, not to expect anything from Avengers Doomsday or Spider-Man Brand New Day. And I made peace with that. I went, okay, no Spider-Man, no Avengers, but we will get something for Mando.
I thought Doomsday would have gotten something in there. I'm surprised they didn't, honestly.
Well, that will be a part of the conversation about like the current stage of like film marketing. Because quite frankly, I think Avengers Doomsday is going to ride a very similar path that Avengers Endgame did, which was you're getting barely 2 trailers. Not a whole lot in them because we know how big this movie's going to be, or at least they're banking on it being massive. and I think they have reason to do so. It's the fucking fifth Avengers movie. Um, but I was just saying, like, I was initially disappointed. Like, I was helping set up at this Super Bowl party, and I look up and I see, I see Grogu kind of like booping a tauntaun, and I'm like, oh my god, like full trailer online now. And then the group chat I'm in started blowing up with like, oh, the teaser, 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 teaser.
Right.
I got my phone out immediately, tapped the link, and I realized it was just the Budweiser parody, and I was let down. I was let down, and I was hoping for something a little bit more. We'll talk more about why I've kind of had a change of heart on that case, and I'll throw it to you. How was your Super Bowl? What was going on? How did you feel in the immediate aftermath of this teaser?
Super Bowl was pretty good. Got to watch with my family. That was pretty cool.
That's nice.
When I saw the teaser, or I guess the teaser trailer, whatever commercial thing, um, I don't think it was like horrible or anything. Would I have liked more? Yeah. Like, would I have liked to have seen like a little bit more than we got in the trailer, or like clips of different things than what we got in the initial trailer? Of course, everybody would. Um, but like, I thought it was kind of cool that they're embracing like the fact that it is basically just a Star Wars Western. So
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a good tone setter. And I think for me, I think in an interesting way, the Mando and Grogu is being held to a similar standard in terms of its marketing to something akin to The Force Awakens.
yeah,
Because because even though it hasn't been as long as we were between theatrical releases, it has been a while.
right.
You
It's been
know,
a minute.
Star Wars has not left and come back quite the way it did between Revenge of the Sith and The Force Awakens, because it never really went away. It has still been alive and well, doing things on Disney Plus with the TV shows, to varying degrees of success. You have your Andors, which are held up. You have your Acolytes that are shit on, and the stuff in the middle, things like the
Right,
Mandalorian that people have like weirdly turned on overnight. Um, Eli, as I said that, the discourse for this film is going to be trash, and you're
yeah,
right. And I the reason why I see similarities between this and The Force Awakens and the clamoring for teaser and trailers and a clamoring for a glimpse inside of what to expect is that every other movie that has come out in the time of Disney, in the time of Kathleen Kennedy's reign, which is which I'm sure will come up throughout the episode, that this is like our first big media push without Kathy, is we don't know what's going on. We don't know what this
right,
is really about. That you could say that for every other movie but The Force Awakens and now The Mandalorian and Grogu. Rogue One, we were given the basic premise of this is the story about how the rebels got the Death Star plans leading up to the Battle of Yavin. The
right,
Last Jedi was obviously a follow up to what was set up in the Force Awakens. Solo: A Star Wars Story was the Han Solo origin movie. The Rise of Skywalker was the conclusion of what had been set up by The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. TFA and Mando and Grogu share a common thread of we don't really know shit. And what we have seen has been very vibes based.
yes,
I don't I think there's a similarity there between the two of, The Force Awakens, that first teaser, Black Friday, right after Thanksgiving, this bit of awakening. Have you felt it? And like, what does that mean? What are we seeing? We see the ball droid, we see the Falcon, we see the speeder, we see Finn, we see Kylo Ren turn on that lightsaber for the first time. And it was kind of a tone setter. For the Mandalorian and Grogu, we have kind of a tone setter, but we really don't have any like ideas.
right,
And again, I don't think, how do I put this? I am not finding myself frustrated that we don't know more about the movie because I'm afraid for the movie. I just want to know more because I'm greedy.
right,
And I want to have a better idea. There's also been, because the entertainment journalism landscape has changed so much. is that it is basically a whole, worse than it was before, an entire like ecosystem of leaks and rumors, and most of them are horse shit, and some of them are, old information that's spoiled and is no longer correct. And then you have the trades trying to like make sense of anything. And a lot of the leaks and kind of like rumblings online make this movie sound batshit crazy. Up to and including, that's where we found out that Jeremy Allen White of The Bear fame is playing goddamn Rada the Hutt.
Yeah.
And a fact that has been largely confirmed, but we still don't have an official cast list. Outside of Pedro Pascal and Sigourney Weaver, we really don't know that much about the cast. And we know that Jeremy Allen White is there. Right. I don't know, and I think they've confirmed the Rada thing, but really it's just Din Djarin, Sigourney Weaver as somebody, and Rada the Hutt. There's rumors Embo is one of the villains. There's rumors that the Imperial Remnant is one of the main villains. We don't really know shit. Rumbling. You're right, Mitch. I did say the rumbling. Tune in to Pro and Noob Mondays on the Mitch 692 channel as we are doing our Attack on Titan coverage. And while those of you at home will be seeing my reactions to the beginning of season 3, I am almost at the end of season 4 because we have done a lot. Eli chiming in saying, Johnny Khan is reprising his role as an Imperial warlord first seen in the Shadow Council in The Spies. Yeah, but again, like that is, and thank you for the clarification there, Eli, but like that is still kind of a pittance of like, what do we actually know? And the answer is not much. So I want more. I also think that the internet pundits are kind of talking out of their ass. Again, these are one of those instances where I have a hard time taking a lot of people seriously because a lot of people made it abundantly clear early on they were kind of rooting against this movie. Especially in the post-Andor era. It seems we've lost Mr. Kragon Jinn again. I'm just going to kick him and he can come back on his own time. The reason why I have warmed up on this teaser is I feel like this is kind of a weird return to form for Star Wars marketing. Those of you who watch the Bombad cast, which will be live tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern, talking about the same thing we were talking about. Although based on how Scotty has marketed that episode, it's going to be a little more aggro than my take right now, at least for now. Last year, in celebration of Revenge of the Sith, I was on Bombadcast and we kind of took a look back on the marketing for the movie. And it was batshit crazy in the way that marketing movies in the 2000s was uniquely was. Back in the 2000s, we got, movie the Pop-Tarts, movie the cereal, movie the soda tie-in, movie the Burger King or Happy Meal toys, movie the shitty game adaptation. There was a bigger suite of things that came out with this stuff. The action figures and the toy side of things was more robust at time of release of the film as opposed to it is now, where it'll be a year later and we will see Mandalorian and Grogu action figures on shelves. And that's a side effect of like a lot of shrinkage in the industry. But I find myself looking back on things like the Burger King Star Wars ads and looking back on, the kid struggling to open up the ketchup packet and he can't quite get it. And, royalty free Obi-Wan Kenobi walks up and levitates the ketchup packet and with his lightsaber and then uses the Force to squirt the ketchup on the burger. Basically, again, to fill you in case, I'm talking about why I've warmed up to it and how I feel like this is kind of a return to form for some of the sillier Star Wars marketing we used to get back in the day. That was a little less self-serious, that we kind of leaned into Star Wars is the biggest thing ever. And again, like I said, you have Obi-Wan opening the ketchup packet. You have Darth Vader force choking a Burger King manager. You have one of the really funny ones, Boba Fett managing the flame broiler. And they're like, hey, don't you know how to use this? And just with his
Yeah.
flamethrower. It kind of takes me back to that. And what I like about that is that it pokes fun at itself, something that Lucas was known to do. George Lucas basically let anybody parody Star Wars to, like, in some cases, sometimes to a mean spirited degree. And I just feel like that is something that Star Wars has kind of lost. I think, like, and not necessarily in a bad way. Like, I'm the first person to complain about the way Star Wars social media handles itself, but it's not because necessarily Swagman can't stop calling everybody bestie and Yas Queen the moment slay. It's less to do with that and more to do with the language being used feels like it's out of step with the material being talked about. And here, especially with the Mandalorian and Grogu, I think you have an opportunity to lean into this, not to lean into the silly and the pulpy,
Yeah.
the Taika Waititi quote that I love so much. I think it was Taika who said this. It may have been Dave, but I'm pretty sure it's Taika, where he said, "Star Wars does not take itself very seriously, but Star Wars believes in itself."
Yeah.
And Taika said that during like one of those behind the scenes things for the Mandalorian, and I feel like going in that direction of, oh, here's Darth Vader and Boba Fett working at Burger King. How do we lean in to the tone of the Mandalorian while doing that, while also taking very special care to acknowledge we're airing this during the Super Bowl? We take the Budweiser Clydesdale ad, we Star Warsify it. We get Sam Elliott to do this beautiful narrative. Like, quite frankly, like
I wasn't sure if it was Sam Elliott or not. I was pretty sure, but I wasn't 100% certain.
The luminaries on Force Center said Sam Elliott or Sam Elliott type. But the Schrodinger Sam Elliott, with that narration that I do want to pull up at some point, because I feel like that narration that we get as Din and Grogu are like riding the Tauntauns through this tundra. Okay. Eli said it was confirmed that it was really Sam Elliott, which is awesome. I hope Sam Elliott's in the movie somehow.
Sick. I love that. Oh, that would be my favorite thing of all time.
I want to hear Sam Elliott just go, "The Galactic Empire."
Yes. Could you imagine if he was Mandalorian and he actually says this is the way through like through the helmet?
Absolutely marking out. Yeah. Absolutely marking out. Just so much aura. But like I think that the narration Elliot gives is very, very, it feels like it could be the crawl to the Mandalorian and Grogu. In the same way that like Solo, a Star Wars story, doesn't have a crawl, but it kind of has just like a handful of paragraphs that set the tone. The Sam Elliott narration feels like that to me could be the crawl for this. So like it is giving us an insight into tone, and it is giving us an insight into dynamics. It's just not showing us plot. It's just not showing us action. And I get it, but this feels good to me. Like, obviously, I wish we had a full-fledged trailer. We would have done a full episode about it on KNR, and we would have milked it, and I'd have gone on like 3 different shows to talk about it, and it would have been a whole, hoopla. I kind of love this. I really think this kind of meets the moment. Kason, how do you feel about it now that we've had time to simmer on this is what we got and not a full-fledged trailer?
I mean, I feel like the same as you do about like the like it's not taking itself too seriously, and like it's nice to get back to that, because like when you think about it, this is an Adventure of the Week show getting a movie. So like it's not going to be you shouldn't necessarily expect it to be like a major event type deal, like a big serious thing like the actual like Star Wars episodes are.
Right.
Whereas it's more of like the Star Wars story type thing, like Solo and like Rogue One. But like, as we also established, it's new stuff. It's not, hey, this is stuff that's already happened in the past that we're going back to tell you about now, but you already know these people. you know what these dudes have done up to this point, but we're embarking on an entirely new journey here. We're going to do some new shit. We're going to go meet some new people. Um, I'm excited about Ride of the Hutt. I'm excited about Jeremy Allen White being in Star Wars. I love the cast of characters that we're getting across the new Star Wars stuff. Like they said Ryan Gosling was going to be in a Star Wars movie, and I was like, yeah, right. And then at Celebration when he actually came out on stage, I was like, holy shit, it's real. That's crazy. That's
Yeah.
absolutely insane.
They flew Ryan Gosling to goddamn Chiba, Japan.
Yeah.
To be like, hey, it's real.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I like the direction it's going. Like I said, it's spaghetti western, Star Wars, like sci-fi spaghetti western, basically. So like,
And
I'm cool with it doing like some less serious stuff and like the poking fun. Like the fact that it's like a Budweiser ad ripoff is hilarious. Not ripoff, parody.
Yeah, no, and I think again, this feels so George to me. And again, and I've said before that I don't think George Lucas and what he thinks and how he views and what he did should necessarily be the be all end all of how Star Wars is made and created. But in a increasingly homogenized, shrinking media landscape, embracing the George Lucas punk rock impulses that brought us the original trilogy and brought us an attempt at making a Flash Gordon movie that fell through, and now I kind of had to duct tape my copy of The Hero of a Thousand Faces by Joseph Campbell to a camera and just let her rip and bank on a bunch of unknowns and Nepo babies, and a stoner carpenter and a gorilla suit and a guy in a scary outfit and prestige actor Alec Guinness who doesn't want to fucking be here. Like, I feel that here, and I think it's really hard for Star Wars to feel punk rock and to feel off the beaten path because like it has kind of become part of like the homogenized nature of media right now. That like everything is a streaming series, and all of those streaming series are always in a precarious state of do they exist or do they not. And I think zigging where everybody expected a zag I think it's brave. I think it's bold. I fundamentally don't understand the criticism that this ad means that they are unsure of their film. I fundamentally do not understand that argument. I really don't, because to me, we don't trust it looks like we're going to show you everything. To me, we don't trust
to
it
make sure you come see the movie.
Yeah.
Like, oh, hey, you want this super cool thing? Trust me, it's there. Just buy a ticket. Here's 3 seconds of it. Just buy the ticket, man, please.
Again, to me, we don't trust it is showing us every single action set piece. If there's like a surprise appearance from any characters, letting that out in the teasers, or in the trailers or in the TV spots, and we'll get all those things eventually. The movie does come out in May, and yes, I do want more sooner. It does frustrate me, but also it's different now. A lot of this marketing, Ken put it brilliantly on Force Center. I broke my rule. I don't like to listen to Force Center until I already did my own episode about the thing, but I listened. And, like what's going to end up happening, as much as Ken and Alden don't like Hot Ones, like, yeah, Grogu's going to end up on Hot Ones. Grogu's going to be on Hot Ones. Like they're gonna lean in, and they're gonna lean into the identity that the Mandalorian has built up for itself as being accessible for the most part. It's more accessible to to casual viewers and people who are new to Star Wars than some other stuff that's a little bit more in the weeds. It's gonna be silly, it's gonna be cute, but it's gonna have a lot of heart. Again, it's the Taika quote. It doesn't take itself too seriously. It takes itself seriously, but not like terminally seriously. And also it fundamentally believes in itself. And I think that's the pocket to be in here. We might end up with some marketing choices that I'm not going to like, that I'm not going to enjoy. Thank you. But thank you, Robot on Twitch.
Yes, thank you.
But I'm sure there's going to be some stuff that I find deeply cringe, and I'm sure we're going to bestie slop all over the place a little
Oh
bit
yeah,
too.
100%. That's the world we
And
live in, baby.
I
That's
think
showbiz.
I think this is an opportunity to kind of expand the palette. Do something really fun and interesting because something like the original or something like the sequel trilogy, something like our next set of trilogies, that we know Simon Kinberg is working on. you know, uh, those are going to call for a little bit more reverence.
Yes.
It's going to be a little bit more serious. I don't know what to expect from Starfighter, but right now, like I feel like you have an opportunity to get kind of silly with it in a fun way and in a heartfelt way because I do think this teaser does have some heart to it.
Yeah, I mean,
In the
like
way
the
that the reins are handed to Grogu and the narration.
yeah.
But you speak for a moment. I was rambling there. I'm going to pull the teaser up so you can kind of go through the narration.
You know what I just thought of?
What
Hadn't
you
thought
just
of it
think of?
this whole time up to this point because I'm not typically like an opening night. I gotta be there type person. I would like to, but I don't typically like take the time out to clear my schedule on the days that movies come out and stuff.
You will be.
There's going to be a there's going to be a Grogu popcorn bucket.
It's going to be a Grogu popcorn bucket. There's going to be a
There's
Mando
gonna be a
helmet bucket.
Mando helmet popcorn bucket, dude. I just thought about that. Like when I looked off the screen 2 seconds ago, and I was like, "Oh my god!" That's literally the thought that passed through my head. I was like, I'm gonna have to request off work so I can go see it and
Oh,
get those
I
popcorn
already told
buckets.
Taylor. I was like, I am calling off work like the Thursday, Friday, and Saturday the movie comes out because I need
Go
to
see
see
it
it like 32
10 times.
times.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be an event. But let me actually instead of playing the trailer because I don't want to run the risk of getting into a copyright issue while we're live. Mandalorian Grogu Super
That's fair.
Commercial narration. I
Swagman's
want to see if
always
I can.
watching.
um, Here, I'll just let it ride on my end and just not put it on the stream. Other times, the path chooses us. Which again, I already really like that framing because it's illustrative of Din's journey up to this point. He
Yes.
was just this bounty hunter, and now like Grogu came to him. Again, this feels like something that could be in blue text.
Yeah,
At
100%.
the beginning. Through it all, we keep pushing forward, driven by a deeper purpose, guided by an unseen force, which is the cue where Grogu is like handed the reins and he like pulls it towards him with telekinesis. The music swells. The journey never gets any easier. The bond just gets harder to break. This is the way.
Yeah, and like they've already been through some shit. So like it's only gonna get crazier, but also
Yeah.
like Sam Elliott says, the bond is harder to break. They're stronger individually, they're stronger as a pair too. Um I'm pretty hyped up. I'm excited to see what kind of situations we get into. The Huts are always an interesting gang to get tangled up with.
I
So
mean, and when one looks, let me see if I still have the poster that we've gotten already in the StreamYard still. I apologize. This is going to look like Eli sent it to me. Um, but like when you look at the poster, like the twins from Book of Boba Fett are there.
oh yes,
And
yes, 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 yes.
like the twins from Book of Boba Fett are there. Obviously Zeb is there as well, but like we have Din riding like it's not an ATRT from the Clone Wars, but it looks like one. And like what we saw in the teaser, like we see Grogu on his own more,
Mhm.
which I think is a part of this is that like they have grown out of what felt like kind of a, for lack of a better term, like a codependence they had.
Yeah.
Yeah, that went through my filter. Uh, Very funny, Eli. But there feels like there's a, I don't know how to put it. It feels like there's a focus on showing that Grogu is his own person. He is not just the cute merch machine.
Right.
And he's not just the child that gives Din a reason to have a moral compass. Like, these are co-equal partners in a way.
Right.
And there are things that Din can do that Grogu can't, because Din is verbal, Din is bigger, Din can, he's walking around in full Beskar plate. He's more invulnerable to things. And there are things that Din can never do
Right.
that Grogu can. By virtue of the childlike innocence is one of the best moments in Mando season 3. I know a season of television that everybody likes to pretend has nothing to say because it came out after your precious fucking Andor, but that childlike innocence of the way Grogu steps in whenever the Mandos are starting to beef with the no, 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 no. That's beautiful. That childlike innocence, and that's without even touching the fact that Grogu can tap into the power of the Force.
Right.
And
it's just like his personality.
It's his personality. It's his kindness, and it's something you can only get from a kid. Mm-hmm. And I find myself so much more compelled by that than what it was before. Not that was bad, but there has been growth. And I think that there were a lot of meticulous choices made with the framing of this teaser. And the way that it is, it is that narration that kind of brings the journey that we've had up to this point into a beautiful little soliloquy. And we see again this idea of Grogu can do more on his own. I think that's really swell.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm going to take a brief moment to touch base with Mr. Sheehy, see where he's at, because this one was going to be a quickie always, and I have spoken my piece for the most part. So I'm going to touch base with Mr. Sheehy.
Sigourney Weaver's character on IMDb is listed as Colonel Ward.
That sounds right. I don't remember where we've heard that name, but I know it's floated around out there.
I don't know. I was trying to think of who that would be.
Official channels. Eli could probably clear up where that came from. But yeah, those of you who are watching, get in the chat. I'd like to hear thoughts here. While we wait for that, I do want to do a handful of quick plugs. I spoke on Avengers Doomsday earlier. Those of you who are not aware, we are doing an MCU rewatch show on the channel with myself and Taylor called the Road to Doomsday. We are going strong. Our Black Panther episode came out earlier this week. But for those of you who are subscribed on our Patreon at the $5 tier or higher, you guys get early access to every episode of The Road to Doomsday. That is why I visibly schedule episodes way ahead of time for two reasons. One, it makes my life easier because I can just add it to the Squarespace page. So when the episode actually goes live on our Squarespace and our RSS feed, it is attached to it. The other reason is so that I can let people know at home how far ahead the patrons are. Currently, like I said, on the main feed, yes, Taylor's best friends are Patreon members. For those of you at home, the Black Panther episode came out just a few days ago. And in a few days, the Avengers Infinity War episode will be dropping, which is very exciting. However, if you are subscribed to our Patreon, if you are one of Taylor's best friends at the $5 tier or higher, on top of audio commentary tracks for all the movies as well, we're all the way up to Falcon and the Winter Soldier. If you look at the dates for the Road to Doomsday uploads that are visible as premiere videos on our YouTube channel, you see it's going all the way to the end of March. And if things go the way we're hoping they do in the next couple weeks, there will be another mega dump of 4 episodes straight to Patreon. Again, months and months and months ahead of when they're going to hit the main channel. But like I said, as we're kind of waiting here,
thank you.
Oh, look at you! Look at you getting served while you're doing the show.
That's crazy.
Getting some good grub. But yeah, like I said, anybody in the comments would like to chime in on the teaser. Aside from that,
I could see the chat.
You can't see chat?
No, I can't see the YouTube chat from StreamYard, which is kind of bunk, but
I might be able to change that for you here.
Oh wow, look at that.
I normally don't do that one. I know Scary and Jotty, Jerry and Scotty do it that way.
Scary and Johnny.
Scary and Jotty.
Scary and Johnny's incredible.
I will say, and I actually to hearken to a comment Taylor made earlier. God, the AI is insufferable.
Yes. It's all AI and gambling. And like I sports gamble on football a little bit. I'll try not to get into anything else because I don't know really that much about anything else. Like I know the game of baseball and the game of basketball, but I don't follow it enough to actually like know what's currently going on. Scary and Johnny. Yeah. It's gonna be a comic book Jared and I are gonna write.
Oh yeah, Johnny is actually just Johnny Bones. My D&D character I keep threatening all my friends with making.
Yeah.
But no, it's all the AI was just so frustrating. Like I said, I got a little lit during the Super Bowl party I was at. It was a work Super Bowl party. I tried Cutwater for the first time. And immediately after the Bad Bunny halftime performance, which was incredible.
Yeah.
It was really good. For me personally, it is going to be a really high bar to clear post Kendrick, just because that was the
Oh yeah.
Taylor did. I have to do it. I'm Johnny Bones anyway. But that's just a high bar to clear for me
Sensational.
personally. But I Eli. Shouts out to Mark Guggenheim and Ahmed Best for writing a comment that's truly doing gang busters. Not quite Taylor's turn of phrase for that. You know that? Do you know about that? Do you know about
I
it's
had no
doing
idea.
gangbangers? So when Taylor and I were doing the Thor episode for Road to Doomsday,
Mhm.
Taylor kept repeatedly saying that the Thor DVD was doing gangbangers in her house. And after like the fourth time, I was like, "You do know the phrase is gangbusters, right?"
Doing gangbangers.
And so that is just kind of stuck to the teen app lexicon now.
Love that.
But coming off of Bad Bunny's masterful performance, I'm like, oh wow, it was so good. And then it immediately goes into what might have been the worst AI slop ad of the Super Bowl, which was the horrible fucking Svedka robots.
Oh yeah.
And I said I was a little lit. I was a little lit in my coworker's basement bar with a handful of other coworkers, and I may or may not have kind of slapped my cup down and started screaming about the Butlerian Jihad from Dune. I just absolutely crashed out over AI, and I stopped and I looked at my one coworker, this very nice lady by the name of Laura, who is very funny. They boil those bones. You've heard
Yeah.
that story.
Yeah.
I'm sure that'll come up on a teen app eventually. We don't have time for it, but I look over and I'm like, this AI shit's bullshit. I was like, it's just an environmentally destructive theft machine, losing my mind, data centers. And I stop and I kind of turn and I go, anybody in here ever read Dune? Anybody here know what the Butlerian Jihad is? And everybody starts looking at me crazy because I don't think anybody was expecting me to say the words jihad during the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And I'm explaining, like, dude, there's like they had a revolt against the AI and the computers. I sound like Alex Jones, as my voice is getting raspy. And I was like, they did something called the Butlerian Jihad, where they killed the fucking computers. They killed you need to kill the computers. Fuck AI, Butlerian Jihad. I lost my ever loving mind immediately after the Bad Bunny performance. Immediately after, I am scaring all of the hoes because I won't stop screaming about the Butlerian Jihad because AI sends me into a blood curdling rage. The funniest unintentional ad is the Mike Tyson one. Did you not catch the Make America Healthy Again Mike Tyson ad?
Oh wait. Yeah. The RFK Mike Tyson tattoo.
I was I was so fat and nasty I wanted to kill myself. So unintentionally hilarious. Anyone heard about the Butlerian John is the most Jared quote I've heard.
Yeah.
Did you not see
Truth,
this one?
Eli.
Are you not? Are you not?
No, I did not see it. I
Oh
saw
my!
just a picture. I didn't see that one during the Super Bowl. I saw like on Facebook or something just a picture of RFK with the Mike Tyson tattoo. And I was like,
You see, the problem with the ink and the tattoos is that it's turning the kids gay.
So the Mike Tyson ad is a cavalcade of fuckery on so many levels because it's Mike Tyson, who I guess is MAGA now, who also is a piece of shit human being. I don't care how well he boxes; he's a dog shit human being. The commercial is directed by disgraced director and predator Brett Ratner, which I did not know until today. That Brett Ratner, who directed the Melania documentary, who will be directing Rush Hour 4, a movie that only got greenlit because Donald Trump demanded that Paramount greenlight it.
what?
Starring Chris Tucker, man implicated in the Epstein files. Birds of a feather. But now, this ad isn't funny because it's funny. It's funny because of the framing and the fact that, like, to a lot of people my age and Kason's age, Mike Tyson is kind of a little bit of a lolcow because he made so many appearances in pop culture where the joke was, "Oh, hey, it's Mike Tyson, scary boxer man."
Yes.
Yeah, also, Brett Ratner doing all of this after directing the X-Men The Last Stand really shows that some people just cash the checks, indeed.
Yep.
But, so Tyson's kind of a lolcow. You know, you have stuff like The Hangover to blame for that. So it's the fact that this is incredibly serious and the camera work is just really intense and it is edited in a very, like, frantic, intimate way. This is deeply funny.
My sister's name was Denise. She died.
Hold on, this is super, super quiet. I would need to get all of the lisp in here.
My sister's name was Denise. She died of obesity at 25. She had a heart attack. I was so fat and nasty. I would eat anything. I was like 345 pounds. A quart of ice cream every hour. I had so much self-hate when I was like that. I just wanted to kill myself. We're the most powerful country in the world, and we have the most...
I lost Kason. The ad's so bad we lost Kason. Like I said, this the objective was for this to be a quickie. We may have to wrap up quickly, especially... Oh, wait a minute. Word from Bill. He said, still on. Indeed. So thank you, everybody, for hanging in. This was kind of a last-minute idea to do this as a live stream. So thank you for everybody kind of putting up with the technical difficulties. I'm not going to show it again because I think it's what made StreamYard go apeshit for you. But yeah, watch it on your own time. It's very funny. Eli said, I hadn't seen that. That's extraordinarily bad. Again, it's bad morally because, like, there are studies that show that the marketing strategy of shame the fatties to make people want to lose weight doesn't work, and it very much increases body dysmorphia in young kids. But just the juxtaposition of, I was so fat and nasty, I would eat anything, a quart of ice cream every hour, into Mike Tyson slaughtering apples and carrots and shit. Absolutely incredible, and cannot be taken seriously because we watched RFK get force-fed a fish fillet by the pedophile president. But before we wrap up here, we are going to hear briefly from the man of the hour, the birthday boy himself. Get happy birthdays in the chat. Deploy the happy birthdays. It's Mr. Bill Sheehy.
Hello, I'm right on time. Thank you for
right
having me. What's going on, man? Thank you for having me. What have we been talking about? I see Brett Ratner in the in the comments, which is never a good sign. So thank you, Eli. That's very sweet.
No, Gay said I kind of talked all the way through the Mandalorian and Grogu teaser while we were waiting for you, and then it just kind of turned into talking about the shitty Super Bowl ads and how this is a particularly bad year for Super Bowl ads, and then we started talking about the Mike Tyson. I was so fat and nasty.
I was eating a
see,
quarter.
no,
I was eating a
quarter
quarter
ice
every.
cream
Bill's
every
here. It's his
hour.
birthday, and I still can't hear anything.
What's going on? Where's the quarter ice cream? I'm sorry. I was eating a quarter ice cream before I got on here. I don't even. I don't know.
Unfortunately, it started to just turn into Scotty's Paul Stanley impression by the second.
I eat a pound of ice cream every day.
I was so fat and nasty. How we doing, people?
Hey, how we doing?
But Bill, how was your Super Bowl, and what did you think of the Mandalorian and Grogu teaser we got? Give it to us, and we'll kind of give you the floor to kind of wrap up the conversation here.
I don't know what you guys have talked about up until this point, but can we just enjoy things like anymore? Nobody enjoys anything anymore. Like, okay, like it was so clearly like a spoof or like kind of a traditional Super Bowl commercial. They were doing something fun, something different. The discourse around this, frankly, the discourse around Star Wars the past 3 years has made it not fun for me. So like, God forbid we enjoy something that's coming in. This is a Star Wars movie that's going to be in theaters in 3 months. Yeah. So like, I just wish we could enjoy things, and I wish people would quit bitching. And like, I'm tired of these Gen X fuckers who are using Gen Z lingo. Oh, is it cooked? The Mandalorian and Grogu's never been more cooked. Okay, calm down. You're getting AARP. Let's just calm down a little bit. Come on. You remember the first Super Bowl. What are you talking about? Get out of here.
I agree with that. Like a lot of what I was talking about, and apologies for reiterating to the audience, but for your sake, Bill, I was talking a lot about how I was initially disappointed. And I don't think that it's a bad take to initially be like, oh, I was hoping for maybe for a full trailer, if not another teaser, to show more different stuff. Eli said certain internet commentators who may or may not have been with a certain online media company are having a not normal one with this ad.
I love your specificity, Eli. Thank you.
Yeah, I know. I feel like things are going to collide here soon.
Yeah.
They're going to collide here.
Collider? I hardly know her.
Collider? I hardly know her.
I'm sorry. I had to.
No, it's funny. This is the second time this week I have vaguely gestured at Collider for the person I am on stream with to just say the name, and it's become a funny bit I'm like accidentally getting people into. But like initially I was disappointed, and then I was like, okay, I've come to terms with the fact that I'm not getting a full teaser or a full trailer anytime soon. Fine, whatever. What we did get, I feel, very much harkens back to a very George time of Star Wars.
Agreed.
And I thought back to the Revenge of the Sith marketing, especially because like that was something I just talked about last year on Bombat, where it's like I'm seeing the Burger King ads where Obi-Wan Kenobi is opening ketchup packets and Boba Fett is like letting his flamethrower loose on the grill and Vader's choking out like Burger King managers. Like, I think this movie is at a junction where it can kind of have a little bit more fun with itself than other Star Wars projects. I don't think we would have the latitude to do something on a little bit on the sillier side with something like the Rey movie / the next trilogy, with something like, maybe not like with Starfighter, if we ever get the Dawn of the Jedi movie. I don't think you have the space to kind of get fun and goofy with it, where there's a silliness and a heart to the Mandalorian that gives you the latitude to do that. It's basically become my take.
I agree. Like it is perfect to allow for silliness. So like, I am so frustrated with people actively cheering against this movie. Like, it's just like, what are we doing here? Like, this is Star Wars. I'm excited to see it. Who cares? We're going to get a trailer soon. They wanted to do something different, something fun, something silly. Okay. I don't think we're cooked. Chat, are we cooked? Let me see it. Chat, are we cooked? Chat
is not going to.
Chat, are we cooked? I need to know if we're cooked. Comment down below. Let me know.
Well, part of it too for me is, again, and I said this earlier, so I won't harp on it too much. Very much like Avengers Doomsday, very much like, as we've been talking about on Road to Doomsday with the Ant-Man movies, people have just inherently been rooting against this movie. Mm-hmm. And I think there is an anticipation of, it won't be good because I don't want to be the guy who shits on Andor. I don't want to be that guy. It is y'all who are making the conversation so buttfuck stupid that I have to go. Just because it isn't Andor doesn't mean it's not good. Mm-hmm. And I think there are so many people who have insisted on, because the Mandalorian has trafficked in the familiar, it cannot have anything of substance to say.
Also,
I think that is deeply anti-intellectual and is rich coming from the crowd that insists they are the only smart people left in the room.
Well, and here's the thing: has Jon Favreau made a bad movie? Like, he's directing this. He is directly responsible for this. He's responsible for the MCU, for at least for the birth of it, and ensuring that had a great start. He is a great filmmaker. What are we doing here? It's bonkers to me. Bonkers.
My only pushback is live action Lion King.
Yeah, I'll give it to you.
But still, his record is great.
Also, that was on paper, that should have been awesome.
I cry every time I hear Childish Gambino and Beyonce sing "Can You Feel the Love Tonight."
Same. It's just there's something off about it. Everybody gets one, but then watch Chef and tell me that guy doesn't know how to make a great movie.
Right.
That's just.
But yeah, no, I agree with you completely, and I think these are one of those instances where history is repeating itself. We're back at I think it was Adam Witt, and again, this is a quote because I only know because of Ken, but how I think he said it was Adam Witt who said, Gen X loves Star Wars so much, and the moment they had the opportunity to, they went out of their way to try to destroy it. Mm-hmm. And I think we're witnessing that now, unfortunately, with the sequel cadre of fans. Mm-hmm. The prequel kids grew up and wanted to burn the sequels alive and burn the Acolyte alive, and have trafficked in a lot of weird pseudo right-wing language for the reasons why the Acolyte and the sequels, et cetera, aren't good. And then now I think the pendulum has swung in a completely different and equally frustrating direction. Kason's back, where it is the pseudo-intellectual crowd who got burned by being the only people who, by thinking they were the only people who understood The Last Jedi, have now, like I said, they've donned this "I am the only person in the room who knows what's good. I am the only person who has good taste" mentality. And anytime there is something that traffics in the pulpy, in the silly, in the heartfelt, to bring up the Taika quote we've been repeating all night, Star Wars doesn't take itself too seriously, but it believes in itself. To use a George quote, dare to be hokey, dare to be cute. In a world full of cynicism, dare to want to be fun and uplifting. And I understand why, in the world we're living in right now, that people don't want that. I can empathize with that. I can.
You don't want hopeful and hokey in the time that we're in right now.
Right. I can't relate, but I can understand the impulse to go, my palate right now can't handle it because it tastes fake. There's a part of me that I can empathize with that take maybe, But again, so much of it is just, well, the Mandalorian and Grogu is just corporate slop, so why should we even fucking care? And it's like, I don't know, man, because it's Star Wars and it's fun and it's cute, and why the fuck isn't that your opinion about everything else?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like maybe instead of if I was about to say something that is way too serious to talk about right now, and that is off the beaten path, and something I have said to both of you in various group chats that not the time.
Classic.
I just think that if you're going to quote Andor as much as you fucking
don't.
do every time something horrible happens, maybe you should be a little bit more about that Cassian life than that Mon Mothma life, and stop cosplaying as fucking revolutionaries because you have a Disney Plus subscription. And stop shitting on everything that you think is fucking beneath you, because that is the most deeply anti-intellectual shit you can do. Not the fucking point. Bigger fish to fry. But my point is,
Go off, King.
we now have a new group of people who are trying to rip the new thing apart. And it's people who love this new thing when it was new, when it was part of the new era that they were a part of and were being kind of ostracized in the fandom for loving. And now they want to destroy it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's crazy that we just keep doing this as a fandom. I think it's fucking crazy. And I'm really just frustrated and disappointed by the fact that the same people who were getting called every name but their own and a child of God when the sequel trilogy came out for saying that they love those movies are now trying to hoist Baby Yoda on his own petard. I don't know, man. I just think maybe you should meet stories where they're at and take them from there. But what do I know?
Apparently, we're also saying petard again, so that's pretty cool.
We're taking it back, man.
We're taking back the word.
Jesus. But Bill, I'm sorry you weren't able to join before we were getting ready to wrap up here.
Man.
But does anybody here have any final thoughts before we close this little mini-sode? It still ended up being an hour.
Just enjoy things, man. Don't worry about your own petard. Just just enjoy things. We're gonna be fine. Everything's fine. I mean, it's not, but like this will be fine. It's like Dave Filoni says.
Yeah. That's what Dave says.
I was gonna say I'll be okay in the end, and if it's not, it's not the end. So like, just fucking enjoy it, man.
I agree with that.
We'll be fine. We'll be fine.
And I want to make clear, and not to speak for you, Bill, but I just want to make one thing clear because I know
about Star Wars. This is specifically about Star Wars. I don't know about the other shit. We could be,
could be cooked.
Chat.
We may be cooked.
Are we cooked?
I was having a conversation with Eli the other night, and I made a joke where I was like, we kind of found out that there has only ever been one villain in the universe, and his name is Jeffrey Epstein. And Jeffrey Epstein may have had a hand in creating QAnon, and I've not handled that well. That has kind of shattered my psyche and how everything works. And we kept making that joke, and Taylor's big criticism of The Rise of Skywalker has always been, it feels like the galaxy only has one bad guy, and every horrible thing that has ever happened has been Palpatine's fault. And we were joking about how
Epstein returned.
Maybe and that's the last fucking shoe that can drop before I do things that redacted. But like the joke between us became like, is Jeffrey Epstein just real life Palpatine? And then I stopped and I went, no. Jeffrey Epstein is a man who was sure as hell hope was a man of incredible influence and resources.
Can I quote you on that?
With a hold on, don't worry, you're going to get the full quote. Don't worry.
Okay.
Of incredible resources and wealth with a background in finance. Jeffrey Epstein was not Emperor Palpatine. Jeffrey Epstein is Darth Plagueis.
Yeah. So
that was why I blue sky skeeted the fucking Jeff Epstein, the New York financier, with Higo Damask, the intergalactic banking clan financier. And by that logic, I do think that in some way makes Trump Palpatine still. But in the nerdiest thing I'll ever say, Steve Bannon is Sade Pestage. And you can quote me on that. And Eli has the full roster, as he's saying in the chat, that we did make a full villain roster. And yes, I did fully crash out. I was not expecting to tonight.
Yeah.
But
It's
all
not
of that to say, the point I was going to make on piggybacking off of what Bill said was, we are not calling for it's good if you turn your brain off. I want to make that clear because I know that is not Bill's point, but I know somebody acting in bad faith could extrapolate that. RFK Jr. is Count Dooku.
This it and the brain warp control everything.
But we're not calling for turn your brain off. We're calling for like actually meet the story where it is. Don't just look at it and go, it didn't scream pseudo-revolutionary politics at me for 3 hours. Therefore, it's not as thoughtful as Andor. I didn't watch this the first time as a kid and felt it more than I understood it. So it's less powerful than that. We are not calling for anti-intellectualism. We are not calling for turn your brain off and you can appreciate it. Because again, I know that is not what Bill is saying, but I know in my core somebody will hear that and take that away, and they're fucking wrong. What we're saying is maybe if the story doesn't scream its themes at you with the subtlety of a neutron bomb, maybe that doesn't mean it has nothing to say.
Let's just dare to hope.
That's my main point.
If you want to talk about Andor, dare to hope. Like, that's like it. Like, hope that it's going to be good. What are we doing?
The whole thing.
Anyway, go Cats.
Anyway, go Cats.
Hell yeah, brother.
But yeah, with that, anybody else with any closing thoughts before we bring this home? Eli, I want the last comment left on this live stream to be Mike Johnson is Masamita. Sorry, Kason, what were you saying, bud?
You're good. I was just saying, let things be fun. Yeah, not everything has to be like a statement. We can still have fun. It's okay if things aren't going well. We can still have fun.
And again, like, the Mandalorian does have statements, man. Like, fuck.
Right. Right.
Like, that's my thing. And again, I know you know that. But like, it's like, embrace your fucking whimsy. Embrace whimsy. I'm gonna make that
dilly-dally once in a while. Goddamn.
Dilly-dally a little bit. Go on a fun adventure with Baby Yoda, man.
What if we just frolicked for a little bit? Just like go
frolic.
Could
what
you
are we
imagine?
doing?
You know what needs to happen?
What?
It needs to be just like the Nickelodeon Worldwide Day of Play. Everything just needs to turn off, and there's every screen ever needs to just say, "Go frolic, go be whimsical."
Go frolic.
Compete in the Disney Channel games, you know?
Right.
Oh, that would be so fun.
The children yearn for Disney Channel games.
The grown ass adult right here is yearning for the Disney Channel games.
Same.
Yeah.
Do you think the Disney Channel games?
The children yearn for the hidden temple.
Kayfabe?
What is it?
Do you think the Disney Channel games were fixed? Like, do you think it was kayfabe?
Sure.
I don't know.
But either way, no, there should be Disney Channel games of all of the Star Wars podcasts.
I know a particular set of people that would do well in the Star Wars podcaster games. By the way, just
we'd crush it.
We would.
Yeah.
Absolutely would.
Hello, Brennan. I'm sorry you're joining us just as we're getting ready to close out. But anyway, that's all for this. Kason, where can the lovely people find you, man?
I'm on most things as Cray Breezy.
Indeed. Bill?
You guys can find me
Where?
on Twitter and Instagram at Star Wars Bill. If you like me and want to continue to let me be employed, I am the executive producer of a political podcast hosted by a candidate for Senate in Kentucky named Amy McGrath. The show is called Truth in the Barrel. Find it on YouTube, find it on Spotify, all your podcasting websites, hosting places. We've been doing a lot of growing recently and a lot of showing recently. So it's really, really nice. So
You said that, and I was like,
I
will
love that.
Bill, while talking about the podcast for a Senate run, be able to resist the pull to the dark side that is a growing and showing joke?
I'm just saying we are growing really well, and that is showing the growth. So
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Jared,
where?
Yes, as Eli so excitedly, Jared, where? Now you guys can find me on Instagram at Blue Sky Dark Jedi 2552, and you can find the Nerd Academy podcast on Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, wherever you get your podcasts, YouTube, and on our website, thenerdacademypodcast.com. Or if you're feeling generous, you can donate to our Patreon. I almost forgot to play our favorite friend. Where is he?
Yikes.
Speaking of our patrons, thank you to our $10 alumnus, Ray Clausen and Paco. As I said earlier, $5 patrons and up get early and exclusive access to the Road to Doomsday, the MCU rewatch show Taylor and I are doing. I alluded to it earlier, as I'm not going to go over it all again, but lots of episodes banked up on Patreon, all the way up to Falcon and the Winter Soldier is banked up there already, and with more to come very, very soon. As for myself and Taylor, you can also catch us on Luminous Odyssey, the High Republic RPG series going on the Our Mini Systems channel. Having a lot of fun with that. It's myself, it is Taylor, it is Alden Diaz, it is Joe Organa, making our way through the galaxy during the age of the High Republic as a couple of fledgling Jedi Knights. So, and Alden, who's basically Jedi Gandalf. It's awesome. Go check that out. Epic Confrontations, which I won't tease too much because I don't know how much Eli wants out there. But Bill, you have a very exciting match coming up.
I do. Yeah, my team might have a very alliterative team name from a certain junk trader on Tatooine. So that's all I'll say.
Show me those Wattos.
You'll see. Check on my OnlyFans.
But I won't tease too much of that because I don't know how many details Eli wants out. All I know is it is going to be a monumental match on all counts. We got Bill in there. I won't spoil his teammate. I know who he's playing against. It's going to be a real fucking barn burner, y'all. So be sure you're there for that. Michael and I had our first match as the team, the Jedi Princes. I think the match has been out long enough for me to say the biggest epic confrontations score differential. Michael and I won by knockout. And Eli, what was it? 32 to 12, 33 to 13? What was it? Michael and I won by 20 points. So get ready to start placing those bets on DraftKings and Kalshi for when the Jedi Princes drop bangers and smash like a hot potato. Yeah, 33-13 Jedi Princes coming out with a commanding knockout victory. And, Bill, just based on how the bracket is shaped, if you were to win your next match, it would be Wayseeker Bowl. It would be everybody from the same faction facing each other. Me and Michael and you and your new teammate. Either way, our faction wins. So
we're doing it, man.
On you.
We're doing it. I got it.
I'm looking forward to a friendlier rematch with you than the first match we actually had against each other.
Hell yeah.
And you check that out. As well as over on the Mitch692 channel, Pro and Noob, Mitch and I are talking all about Attack on Titan right now. Starting next week, our Season 3 coverage will begin, and Mitch and I have recorded up to almost the end of Season 4 of Attack on Titan, a show I'm absolutely loving. I do think it is my new favorite anime. I'm absolutely in love with this show. I can't Mitch and I basically recorded like 10 episodes in the span of a week because because I wanted to get through it so we can focus more on Road to Doomsday, but more importantly, because I could not put the show down to save my life. I just could not stop watching, and I knew the only way for me to watch was to do more episodes of Pro and Noob. So I kind of ran Mitch ragged, so he was enjoying a couple days off before we finish up Attack on Titan here in the next couple days. But the Nerd Academy podcast, The Road to Doomsday, Epic Confrontations, Luminous Odyssey, Pro and Noob. Check all of those out on YouTube and wherever you get your podcast. That is all for us today. Like I said, Friday, new episode of TNAP coming out, talking about the Baldur's Gate TV show, talking about the PlayStation State of Play, talking about Spider-Man Noir, all kind of shit. We got the Contraband, got the Hawaiian Punch. Everybody want to holler at Pop. If you need it, I can find it. If I ain't got it, I can find it. You understand? Anyway, also watch Bombadcast tomorrow night because I'm thinking Scotty's going to be even meaner than I was tonight. But with all of that said,
Jotty,
that's a bit Bill missed. But with all of that said, thank you very much for tuning in. We are honored you have joined us live, and may the force be with you always.
Stop! Move away from the cookie jar!
Maybe I'll walk out of here tomorrow and you never see me again. That's really what I want to do.